Hey everyone, my name is Ian. I am a successful dividend stock investor based out of the Silicon Valley here in California. What you see behind me right now is the worldwide headquarters of Oracle Corporation. And in fact, I'm in Redwood Shores. But Oracle just announced, hey, we're going to be moving our corporate headquarters over to Texas. And I imagine a lot of this decision is around this idea of geo-arbitrage and the fact that it is a lot cheaper to live in Texas. And so as a dividend stock investor, as someone who is going for fat fire or an expensive financial independence, retire early, my cost of living structure here in the Bay Area is very high. However, if I followed suit with Oracle and decided to play geo-arbitrage and move to a different state, at this time in my life, pretty much my dividend income and also passive income or somewhat passive income from online ventures like my YouTube channel, that would cover my overall cost of living. And it's certainly something that I have had top of mind. It's something that I've thought about. But at this time in my life, I'm already so busy with the kids and everything that I think it makes the most sense to stay here in California, near family, where we are right now. But I want to share something really important in the video today. I think this is one of my most important videos ever. And I want to share just this idea of, hey, hypothetically, folks out there in the community, one day you wake up and you realize, oh my goodness, I messed up my life. Oh my goodness, the life I am living is not the right life. Oh my goodness, I hate my boss. Oh my goodness, I am so tired of getting out of bed every day. Where did I go wrong? Why am I in the career path I'm in? What happened with my life? Because I know when I was running this morning, I like to go running, and when I was running, I was on a busy street, and honestly, there were certain cars that weren't really paying attention. I saw certain drivers just kind of going crazy. Quite frankly, it's a little dangerous where I was running for myself as a runner, so I have to be really alert. But what I realized about a lot of these people, whether it was conscious and intentional or whether it was subconscious, I could see a level of frustration. I could see a level of being stressed out, if you will. I could see a level of, quite frankly, again, it may be conscious or subconscious, of these types of folks waking up in the morning or thinking to themselves, oh my goodness, how did I end up here? How did I end up here right now? And so I want to address this topic because we're headed into a new year. 2021 is around the corner. 2020 was a very difficult year for a lot of people. And also I want to just discuss this because it ties into dividend stock investing so much. And so if you're one of those people out there who maybe you're a little bit later in life and the trajectory of your life is not quite what you envisioned when you were younger. Maybe you're a little bit later in life and you're thinking, how did I end up here? Maybe you're earlier in life, but you're kind of not really thinking very strategically about where you end up. I want to put some stuff out there today in the video that I think is serious knowledge for the dividend community and beyond. And quite frankly, I'm here to say that I believe dividend stocks are the answer. Dividend stocks will allow you or anyone out there who believes that they totally messed up their life to have a second chance. Dividend stocks are hope. Dividend stocks are for those folks out there who are kind of kicking themselves and wondering, why didn't I take more risk when I was younger? Why didn't I start a business when I was younger? Why didn't I pursue my dreams when I was younger? How did I end up in this situation where I'm in right now? Dividend stocks, quite frankly, are the answer in my humble opinion. So I want to discuss that in today's dividend stock video. All right, everyone. So I want to start out just with the simple fact that dividend stocks provide a second chance for anyone out there. No matter where you are in your life, the simple act of buying dividend stocks immediately secures passive income. Now, I am talking about high quality dividend stocks, world-class dividend stocks that are just completely unparalleled. I'm talking about companies like Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, the types of stocks that I own in my dividend stock portfolio. You can see my entire dividend stock portfolio. I will link to it in the pinned comment and in the description below, all 47 dividend stocks. But dividend stocks, when you buy a stock that pays a dividend, what ends up happening is you will receive an increasing stream of cash flow over time. So for all of those people out there who are wondering, how did I end up here? Dividend stocks give you a second chance. And the reason for that is dividend stocks, in my opinion, are like starting a small business. When you start building a portfolio of dividend stocks like I have been accumulating my 47 dividend stocks for the greater part of my adult life. It's like starting a small business. There's analysis that goes into it. There's record keeping. There's hard work. There's sweat equity. There is discipline. There is dedication. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes a long time. But dividend stocks, in my humble opinion, are just like starting a small business. And once you built this small business, once it's scaling, it's something that becomes very passive and it spins off cash flow. And that cash flow can give you a second chance at life. It can free up time from having to work a job that you may not like. It can free up time from having to listen to a boss who you really don't like. It can free up time from getting up super early in the morning and going to a job that you just don't want to go to. Dividend stock investing is the answer. And I would say it's not only about the income that comes through, it's also the satisfaction of building something. Maybe you're in a job right now where you don't have a lot of creative freedom. Maybe you're in a job right now where it's just kind of like you have to do what you're told and you can't think out of the box. Well, the beauty of dividend stock investing is because you're building your own stock portfolio, your own small business, if you will, you can do it how you want to do it. You can record keep the way you want to record keep. You can account for it the way that you want to account for it. And what this all means is it unleashes this second chance on life, if you will, another option on life, because no longer are you stuck in the mundane. No longer are you stuck in the day-to-day. No longer are you stuck in this rut, if you will, but you are doing something for you, and it goes above and beyond the money that's being generated. Yes, the money is satisfying, but at the end of the day, I know so many wealthy people who are unhappy. I know so many wealthy people who have built these massive fortunes and they are not really happy. And so I don't think that's the answer. What I think really is the answer is striking the balance, and I think that can be done through dividend stock investing. And so you may be comparing yourself to others. You may be thinking, hey, this person out there is doing this person is doing that. Now keep in mind that each of us is on our own journey. Each of us is put in the situation we're in for a reason, in my humble opinion. And you may be thinking, man, I have all this regret in my life, or I've been through all this struggle. But quite frankly, the struggle is leading to better things. The struggle is leading to the point that you're at right now. The struggle has set you up for this next level of success, which in my opinion is possible through dividend stock investing. And so I want to talk about that a bit more. Check it out on the screen right now. And what you see on the screen is just your second chance. With dividend stock investing, you can start your own business. With dividend stock investing, you can see the progress before your eyes. It's something you can control, often in a world where we don't have a lot of control. We're in a world where we listen to our boss. We have to do what our boss says. We have to do what management says. But with the dividend stock portfolio, which is a second lease on life, if you will, it will set you up for huge success creatively doing something that you set up yourself. What else? It brings purpose back to an otherwise less than desirable job. You may be going into your job every day. You may be like these people I saw today in the car who are really frustrated, really flustered, trying to rush into work. But it brings purpose back. Now you're going into work to build the capital, the seed capital, to build your dividend stock portfolio. And so it brings purpose back even to the mundane, even to the tricky things. And honestly, it frees up time at the end of the day. It frees up time at the end of the day to pursue your passions, and it fixes your entire mindset. And so now keep in mind, not everything in life has to do with money. Not everything in life has to do with money. But one of the things that we can all control somewhat is money. And what's so exciting is when the control comes to money. When the dividend stock portfolio is built, that control controls one element of life. And when that one element of life is controlled, it frees up so much mind share. It frees up so much time to do everything else. But I do want to remind everyone out there, it's so important to count your blessings. It's so important to look at the other accomplishments in life. For example, I have a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids. I have a beautiful family that I am so proud of. That is priceless. That is worth more than any of dividend stock portfolio or any entrepreneurial venture or any job or any title or anything like that. And so it's so important to be grateful, to have that gratitude, to look at life as being a well-rounded adventure, and dividend stock investing, finances are just part of it. But the beauty of taking back control of your finances, the beauty of going the dividend stock route, is it really does kind of go into all of the other aspects of life. And I'll tell you something about dividend stocks. It involves a long-term mindset. It involves commitment. It involves sticking to the strategy. It involves analysis. It involves a lot. And a lot of what you could learn through dividend stock investing, it reverberates through your entire life. And so if you're feeling like you're in a rut, or this 2020 has really, you're wondering how you even arrived here, how did you get here, how did life become this, I believe dividend stock investing is the first step to getting out of that rut. Because yes, it's financial in focus, but it has benefits throughout all of life, because I've found no matter what I'm doing, having dedication, having discipline, having a long-term approach, having a conservative, cautious approach, not going too crazy, and doing my appropriate research, being dedicated, thinking mathematically, all of that has benefits throughout all of life. And so what I want to do in the second part of the video today is I want to share with all of you how you could become a dividend stock investor, how you can get started in the next year, in the new year, or even if you want to start early right now in December of 2020. I want to share with the community out there the first few steps in terms of becoming a dividend stock investor and fixing your life, taking back control, fixing life, and turning 2021 into a brand new year. So stick with me here, and we will head into the next video segment. All right, everyone, I am back in the studio right now. I put on my tie because this is serious stuff. I am talking about our future. I want to start with a graphic. Check it out on the screen right now. This is a quick graphic that I shared in a recent video. I will link to it in the description below. But what I'm illustrating here is basically the corporate rat race. The high earning potential, the high amounts of money are at the top of the pyramid, but there are only so many positions at the top of the pyramid. And so it's very difficult to break into those positions and earn a huge amount of money. Also, once you get to those positions, and I can tell you because I have lived it, I went from entry level to VP at a publicly traded company in a short amount of time. Those high-level positions carry a lot of stress and responsibility, and so they're not always sustainable in my humble opinion. Now, what you also see on the screen right now is an indication at the top of this chart for dividend investors. And I made that rectangle for dividend investors very large because everyone can be a dividend investor. There is no limit to the number of dividend investors. Dividend stock investing exists for everyone, and it exists for everyone to sidestep the traditional corporate structure and reclaim one's life. And so I'm really excited about that. And I want to share with you today just some really quick steps, next steps, in case you want to get started with dividend stock investing. So check it out on the screen right now. And what you see in front of you is my checklist of how to get started. And so the first thing I would do if I were starting over again, hypothetically, is I would identify 10 great dividend stocks. I would do my research. I would look at online communities such as this one, PPCE and Dividend Investing for Everyone. I would do my own independent research. I would read books. I would follow great investors out there. I would look at my favorite brands and try to understand who produces those brands. I would start identifying great stocks and analyzing those stocks. That is the purpose of this entire channel, is the analysis of great dividend stocks and sorting out the winners from the losers. Next, what I would do is start tracking these stocks. I would open a brokerage account with a reputable broker, a broker that has been around a long time and that carries a lot of insurance. I would start dollar cost averaging into the dividend stocks on my top 10 list that are on sale. I would start dollar cost averaging, buying in small increments the stocks on the list that are trading at reasonable PE, price earnings ratios, and have reasonable starting dividend yields. Out of my list of 10 stocks, I am sure that one or two of them at any given time will present a reasonable value. And I would start buying these stocks in small increments on a regularly scheduled pattern. That is called dollar cost averaging. What else would I do? What else I would do is I would tighten up my budget and try to free up even more money to invest, because a tight budget allows me to reach financial freedom quicker And the more money I get compounding in the market, the quicker my dividend portfolio will balloon into a sizable portfolio that is spinning off a lot of cash flow. I would, in number 6, build up an emergency fund, because the last thing a dividend investor wants to do is have to sell dividend stocks in case of an emergency. It's like building a small business. The last thing the entrepreneur, the small business owner ever wants to do is have to sell the small business in desperate times. It's better to have a buffer or an emergency fund, if you will, to get the investor, the business owner, through those uncertain times. What else? I would also just start gratitude journaling, start an investing journal, start celebrating my success, and focus on what I'm building, because this dividend portfolio becomes a beacon of hope and a beacon of light in my life. This is a new business that I am starting, and so I should be grateful for that. I should be grateful for my family, my friends, everyone supporting my vision, and I would start focusing on that. And that leads into bullet point 8, which is just let the negativity, let the regret go. At this time, the dividend investor is in the second season. They are in their second inning. They are going after their second chance. And that leads into number 9. I would let the comparisons go. It's so easy for all of us to compare ourselves to others out there. How is someone else doing versus me? Well, what's so funny is it's very difficult to even make those comparisons, because you have to literally live someone else's life to really understand, are they happy? Are they fulfilled? What are they going through? Because everyone on social media just shares their best. They share the best version of themselves. And also in many people's social media, they even share stuff that's just not even reality. It's not their real life. And so what I really feel is important in this journey is not to compare to others, because all of us are on our own hero's journey. We are all heroes in our own journey, and everything we have been through has brought us to this point. And now that we're at this point, it's all looking forward with positivity. Let's keep going. And so next what happens is I would start setting realistic goals, mini goals, if you will. And some of these goals are just dollars invested. How long is it going to take to reach the $100 invested goal, $500, $1,000, so on and so forth? How long is it going to take me to reach $50 a year in dividend income, $100 a year in dividend income, $200 a year, so on and so forth? These mini goals give reason to celebrate, and they keep you focused on the journey ahead. I would live my best life. The journey is exciting. Again, this rut is over with. The negativity is over with. This feeling of how did I get here is over with, because now it is all looking forward. What else? What else I would do is I wouldn't tell anyone except those in my really core inner circle, because there will be skeptics. There are so many people that are tied to the traditional. There are so many people that think the stock market is a casino. There are so many people that think it's impossible to sidestep the corporate ladder. And so you are sidestepping the very system that brought you down. Most people are in that system. Most people are absorbed by the system. Most people don't understand that there's a way out. Subconsciously, they don't even know how they got where they are, but they're in it and they can't see any other way. So the last thing you want to do is start telling the wrong people what you're doing, because they'll try to talk you out of it. They'll try to bring you down. They'll try to tell you, no, you're wrong. You can't do that. But what you need at this time, especially when you're starting on your dividend journey, is positivity. You need a can-do attitude. You need to surround yourself with positivity. What else? Also, go running and exercise. For dividend stock investing to work, it is not get rich quick overnight. It is not something that happens very quickly. It takes a lot of time, but also it's not either or. It's not like, oh, I have to keep dividend investing and keep working until I reach a point and then I quit my job. Actually, what many dividend investors do is they start paring things down. So as dividend investing goes up, they need to work fewer hours. And there's this happy medium, quite frankly, where I think having the right job, having a good boss, if you can find it, having a job where you're fulfilled, that's something really great in moderation, especially if you're in an environment, one of those rare environments where your skill set is aligned with what you're doing, your interests are aligned with what you're doing, you're well rewarded, your job is great, all that kind of stuff. Though, especially if you're in that kind of situation, you may not want to leave it. I'm in one of those situations right now, quite frankly, and I've been in those situations before. Sometimes I've not been in those situations, but when you're in one of those situations, too much of a good thing can be an issue. And so dividend investing allows you to pare things down. It allows you to work fewer hours and scale up your time off. And in that time off, obviously, you can pursue whatever you want. You can start a business, you can spend more time with your family, you can watch Netflix, you can do exercise, whatever you want. But it's not either or. There's a shades of gray in the middle. And as soon as your dividend income starts rolling in, it gives you options. It gives you options to work fewer hours. And so let's keep going. What I want to talk about next is the best dividend stocks. And so you may be wondering, how do you select dividend stocks? How do you get this list of 10 dividend stocks? How do you even get started there? Now, I have some just broad metrics on the screen, some broad statements on the screen right now, how I personally screen my favorite stocks. And many of these are explained in great detail here on my YouTube channel, so I don't want to go into too much detail right now, but you can see it on the screen. I like stocks that have high margins. I like great brands. I like companies that have low manageable amounts of debt. I like companies that increase the dividend over time, because companies that increase the dividend over time allow me to have an increasing stream of cash flow, which means I can work fewer hours quicker. I like companies that have dividend yields in the 2 to 4% range. I found that's kind of a sweet spot for me, at least. I like payout ratios around 50%, meaning they're not paying out more than 50% of their earnings as dividends. I do have some exceptions to that in the portfolio, although I certainly prefer stocks with payout ratios below 60, ideally around 50. I like pandemic-proof, recession-proof business models. Campbell's Soup, I think, is one of those. I'll talk about that in a minute. I like companies that are exhibiting top revenue and net earnings growth. That's called top line and bottom line. I like business models that are easy to understand. And I like companies that have a compelling story that will be around for a very long time and very, very strong cash flows. And so I already mentioned earlier today, Johnson & Johnson and PepsiCo are two stocks, my number 1 and 2 favorite stocks of all time. Although I also bought a stock today called Campbell's Soup. I've been buying this one pretty regularly lately. I've owned it for a long time. It's a snack food company, and they also make the iconic Campbell's Soup. But check it out on the screen right now. Real quick, this is a tranche of stock that I bought today. When I say tranche, it just means this is a number of shares that I bought at one time today. And I buy stocks all the time. I'm oftentimes buying dividend stocks every week to keep focused on my goal of having a massive, increasingly massive dividend stock portfolio. And so today I bought Campbell's Soup at $47.24. It is a forward price earnings ratio of 15, which I love. That's why I highlight it. Dividend yield of 3%, 3.13, which I love. It is a payout ratio of 48%, which I love. And I also list the assets, liabilities, and equity here, some balance sheet information. This company is a little heavier on the liabilities, so it is worth mentioning. I had a subscriber call that out, although the balance sheet is looking a lot better now that they have divested some of their poor acquisitions. This is a turnaround play, if you will. Q1 of fiscal 21 was great. Revenue has been up 7.2% year over year. Their EPS is up 31% year over year, and they increased the dividend. And I also love showing the stock chart there. I don't invest for capital appreciation because my strategy centers around buying quality dividend stocks that I buy and hold forever and that I enjoy the cash flow. But what you can see in the chart there is this stock tends to increase in value over time. So a nice byproduct of dividend investing is also that the share prices go up, aka capital appreciation. I don't invest for it, but it is a nice byproduct of everything I do. And so with that, I want to go into the next segment of the video today, where I have a few more random thoughts that I'd like to share with all of you that I filmed earlier in front of Oracle, so check it out right now. So before I leave today, I want to share a few more insights with all of you out there. First and foremost, remember we are all living longer these days. Despite 2020 and the crazy pandemic, when you look at long-term trends and advances in healthcare and medicine, we are all living longer. So it is never too late to have that second chance that can be offered through dividend stock investing and taking that entrepreneurial challenge to build your own business, your own portfolio of dividend stocks. And so that's something that's really exciting, that it's never too late. Also, one thing that I wanted to share today is just think about the kids as well. I kind of started with the premise today that a lot of people are wondering, how did you end up here? I think all of us, especially when you kind of get to my age, you start thinking in those philosophical terms. How did I get here? How did my life turn out this way? What are the steps that led me here? You start thinking back. And one of the things that I think in my personal life, I'm very pleased with it now. I've got things figured out with the business side of things, the investing side of things. Like I said, I can follow suit with Oracle and pretty much, live that life of financial independence, retire early if I wanted to, but at this time, not for me. I've discussed this in some of my recent videos. I'll link to those in the description below. But I started thinking about my life, and one of the things I wanted to point out is the future is our kids. And when I think of myself as a child, and also when I was in school, high school, and I went to college, I have a computer science degree in computer science from Stanford and also a minor in economics. I start thinking back to then, in college, did I really have mentors that were kind of shaping where I'm going, or giving me advice on careers, or pointing me in one direction, or cultivating my talents? Not necessarily, a little bit here and there. One of the things I'm doing with my own kids from a very early age is, one, I've started dividend stock portfolios for both of them, but two, I'm really trying to take notice, what are they good at? What do they like? How can I help them? And one of the things I would challenge all of you out there in the community to do, whether it's your kids or your nieces or nephews, or really anyone that you could help out, is I think in the world today, especially all being so separated because of the pandemic, it's more important to reach out and be a friend, be a helper than ever before. And so I just challenge you, whether it's your kids or someone else, try to see, how could you help? How can you invest in others? How can you cultivate talents in others? Because I know that as an investor, time is the most important asset. And my kids, they have a lot of time. So if they start getting the help they need now, I start cultivating their talents now, not pushing them in one direction or another, but really listening to them, that time can compound just like the dividend stocks can compound. Now, also before I leave today, I want to do kind of a roll call, if you will. I have I'll tell you, I get a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of love from the community, and it means a lot to me. If you smash that like button, it really means a lot. All the comments, I have big plans for this channel. And what I would say is, not all the time do I take time to acknowledge all of the amazing comments. Not all of the time do I take time to say thank you. But I want all of you to rest assured that I do notice, and it does mean a lot. And I've got that sensitivity like Ralph Tresvant. And I just want to give a shout out and say thank you to some of my homies out there. And I want to say shout out, thank you to Dividend Phoenix, one of my favorite, if not the favorite, Instagram account out there. So shout out to my man. Thank you for all of the support. I want to say shout out to Rico Suave Investing. Check him out. I want to say shout out to Brandon Beavis, the best Canadian investor I have ever met. Shout out. I want to say shout out to Mike the Investor. I'm trying to bring some positivity today. I know I start out on kind of a negative note, but the negativity leads to the positivity, and I'm trying to pull people out of the negativity and show the power of the dividend stocks. But who brings more positivity to our community than anyone else? Mike the Investor. Shout out, homie. Mike the Investor. Invest or lose. Check it out, his merch. Invest or lose. The man. Check it out. And so Spencer Snarf Bailey, World of Spence, check him out. Shout out, my friend. Casey Burns Investing, check him out. Shout out. Positive Investing YouTube channel, check it out. Amazing YouTube channel. I am forgetting so many, but I just wanted to take an opportunity today to do a roll call, give a few shout outs. We're in the holidays. Check all of these amazing channels out. I will link to them in the pinned comment below. All right, everyone. So with that, I just want to let them know, like Bryson Tiller, I am so different. And so this channel is unique. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe. You're not going to find another channel like this, in my humble opinion, although I love all the creators out there. I'm doing something unique here. I'm excited for the new year. I want you here with me for the new year. Please subscribe. I also have a Patreon if you want even more content from me throughout the week, shorter clips. I'm sharing that on Patreon. I will link to it in the pinned comment below. I love you all. Before I leave today, in terms of a full disclosure, I am long Johnson & Johnson, ticker symbol J&J, PepsiCo, ticker symbol PEP, and Campbell's Soup, ticker symbol CPB. Also, before I leave today, in terms of a friendly disclaimer, today's video is not investment advice. I'm not a licensed investment advisor. Today's video is just for your fun and entertainment. If you're going to go out and invest in the stock market or anywhere else, please consult your licensed financial advisor first. I'm just sharing my journey here on YouTube for fun and entertainment, and I'm in the middle of my own hero's journey here, so follow along with me by subscribing. I love you all. I will see you in the next video.